This elegant pinafore dress is a must-have for every lady, and it's so easy to make, and I'm going to teach you how to make it in this video. It also doubles as a simple gown, so if you don't want to wear it as a pinafore dress, you can remove the shirt and rock it as a gown. Let me teach you how I made it. I used almost 3 yards of fabric to make this, so you can use 2.5 yards or 3 yards depending on your size. And the fabric I use is a bit stretchy, so I had to use some tricks to make sure it fits properly. So you're going to be learning all of that here. So first of all, I divided my shoulder by 2 and marked, and then from there I came down by 1 inch, and then I marked my neckline 3 inches for the neck width, and then I connected that 3 inches to the 1 inch I came down by to form the shoulder slope. Then for the neck depth, I just came down by 3 inches, so I worked on the neckline later because I wanted it to have a V neckline. Okay, but then we're just using this 3 inch as temporal. Then you're going to mark your armhole length, which is your bust divided by 6 plus 2 inches. Whatever you get is your armhole length. Then I've marked it, and then on that point I'm going to connect a straight line from the shoulder all the way to that armhole to form an angle. Then I'll divide it by 2 inches. Okay, then I will come in at the point that is half. By dividing it by 2 inches, you find the midpoint. So that midpoint, I'll come in by 1/2 inch from there, and then I'm going to form an angle into the armhole. Okay, then I marked the bust point. Okay, you're going to mark whatever is your bust point. You're also going to mark your under bust if you want, and then you're going to mark your half length. Okay, so what is important is your bust point and your half length. Now when you've marked your half length, you will now go ahead and mark other parameters, but I'm going to mark this and I'm going to square up the line so that we would see the lines that we are talking about and we are working with. Okay, next I'm going to mark my waist to hip, which is usually 8 to 9 inches depending on how tall you are or your customer is. Okay, so next I'm going to mark my bust divided by 4, and then I'll mark. Okay, and then I'm going to mark my waist divided by 4, and I'll mark my hip divided by 4. Now if you're not using a stretchy fabric, then you have to mark your waist divided by 4 plus 1 inch or 1.5 inch depending on what you want to use as your sewing allowance. But I'm not adding any sewing allowance because the fabric itself is stretchy, so I'm not using sewing allowance because it will stretch into my measurements. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to mark is the full length of the gown. So mark the length that you want, the full length that you want, and then I'm going to use pin to hold it up because I want to move it into the camera so you all can see what I'm doing. But before that, I'm going to mark the neckline that I actually use. So I used 4 inches as the neck width, and then I used 8 inches as the neck depth to form my V neckline. So if you want yours to be V neck, you can form your V-neck. I came down by 8 to 9 inches. Then the neck width was 4 inches. Okay, now I've also gone ahead to place pins in all the places because I don't want the fabric to shift, because it's a stretchy fabric. I don't want it to shift when I pull it up. So I've pulled it up and I've ruled out my hemline. That's the length of the gown. Okay, and then I'm going to now mark the pencil what's it called now, pencil skirt. What you're going to do is mark your hip, and then you minus 2 inches. So you, on the hemline, you're going to mark your hip divided by 4, then you minus 2 inches from it. And then I also added 4-inch length to make sure that when I finish hemming the gown, it will still retain the measurements I used to make it initially. Okay, so always leave hemming allowance whenever you're making your gown. Okay, all right, so now we are done with the front. We are over to the back. You see how simple and easy this thing is there, and it's a very fast cloth you can make, very, very fast dress to make. So I marked out, I've placed my front on my back, on the fabric for the back, and then I marked out 1 inch as zip allowance, and on that zip allowance I marked the waistline and the hemline. Now I know you cannot see the neckline of the back, but what I did was I used the same exact neck width that I used for the front, but then I'm going to come down by, I think I used 11 inches for the neck depth for the back. Okay, because I wanted it to also have a V neckline at the back. And then I connected it all the way, still leaving the zip allowance that I marked before. Okay, so now on the half line, that's the waistline, I'm going to take out ½ inch to eliminate zipper bulge. But if I was not using a stretchy fabric, then after taking out this ½ inch, I would have added it back by the side of the waistline. But I'm not using it. I'm using a stretchy fabric, so I'm not going to add any ½ inch on the side of the fabric. I'm just going to cut it like that. Okay, now on the hip line along that same zip allowance, I'll go up by 1½ inch and come down by 2 inches. Okay, and then I'm going to connect. You see, I've connected the ½ inch I came in by from the waist to the upper part. I'm going to connect it from the waist to the down parts. Okay, stopping at that 1½ inch I came up by. Then that 2 inches I came in by, you notice the way I took it from the zip allowance into the crease of the center front. You see the way I did that? This is to form that bomb shape, to give you that to give freedom to your butt to relax on your clothes and have a nice shape. Then on your hemline, I know you can't see it from my camera angle, but from the hemline I came out by 1 inch and then connected it back to the hip. So that 1 inch I removed from the zip allowance. I hope you understand it. I'm replacing it at the hemline. Okay, and then for the shoulder, I had to cut out ½ inch. But if you want the sleeve to be a little more sleeveless, you can cut out more than ½ inch from the sleeve opening. Okay, now I want you to observe how I am cutting out the back. Okay, I'm cutting along all the chalk lines. Okay, then for the hemline, remember that I was telling you that I added back 1 inch to the other side of the hem. So the 1 inch I removed from the part towards the zipper allowance, I had to add it back to the side. So you can see the 1 inch I added to the side of the hemline. Okay, and then I connected it back to the hip. So with this, I'm not going to be losing any inch of my sewing allowance and all of that. So after doing this, I'm done cutting out my front and my back. The next thing is going to be to cut the facing. Now for the facing, I added hairstay to the fabric to make it to have some kind of structure. Okay, now I'm going to cut out the facing anyhow you actually want to cut out the facing, but this type usually looks professional. I cut it all the way to the bust point, especially when I'm sewing a sleeveless gown. This is going to help it to look like you're not going to need to use bias tape or any other stuff to turn the sleeve. This will give it a neat finishing. Okay, so I'm going to cut this out. You see the way I'm trying to be as neat as possible. This is how you should be sewing all your ready to wear gowns and all of that. And like I've been announcing, we are going to be starting our online fashion school very soon. So if you want to make inquiries on how you can join, if you've been learning sewing from YouTube, then you can actually do an online fashion school where you learn from beginners to advanced online. Okay. All right, so the same thing that we did for the front is what we're doing for the back. We'll place the front facing on the back and use it to cut the exact length that we use for the front. Okay, so that it will be the front facing and the back facing will be the same exact length. And then I placed the back facing. You see the way I place the front facing on it also, so that we'll measure and be sure that everything is perfect. That's the depth of carefulness you should use whenever you are sewing, especially you're ready to wear. Okay, so we're going to be cutting this out. Cut out what we have left. Cut out the facing for the back. Okay, we are almost done. This usually comes out really nice once you are able to get it. Okay, And if you're seeing me for the first time, you're welcome to Perfect Glamour Fashion. Do well to click on the subscribe button so that, and click on the notification bell as well, so that you'll be notified once we post any video. Okay, so welcome to the family, and to the OGs, my people that have been here supporting this channel, I really appreciate you all. All right, now we're going to be putting this gown together. I'm going to place my facing right side facing right. Okay, so, and I'm going to use my pins to hold it before I go over to the sewing machine. See, is there any other person that is still using this old-fashioned magnet like myself? Is there any other person that is still using it? All right, so I'm trying to place it right facing right. I don't like the shiny part of the fabric, so I'm flipping it to the dull part of the fabric, because that's where I want to use as my front, like as my right side. Okay, so I'm going ahead to notch the center. Just as you're notching the neckline, make sure that you don't cut out notch very close to the sewing line, but don't cut out your thread so that it doesn't unravel. Okay, especially that V part, cuts very close to the sew line, so when you flip it over, it will still be good. And then I'm going to go ahead and top stitch this. In case you don't know what top stitching is, it means to open up what you sewed and then sew on the lining side or the facing side, but very close to the sewing line. Okay, now I'm going to also go ahead and sew along the sleeve. Okay, I'm going to join the sleeve. Now I'm done joining the sleeve. You see the way it is, just the way you sew the facing for the neckline, you also sew the facing for the sleeve. Now once you run a line along a curved area, you have to notch. When you are done notching, then you cut out the excess, that's cut out any remaining sewing allowance, so that when you flip it over and iron it, it will be very neat. Okay, now for the back, I will do the same thing that I did for the front. You place the lining on the main fabric. Okay, that's the facing, sorry, on the main fabric, and then you notch. After notching it, you cut out the excess, like to just make the sewing allowance smaller, and a top stitch. Okay, so all right, so while we're at this, let me also mention that our suit making masterclass is on the way. So if you have never made a perfect suit before, you should just comment suit making in the comment section. The masterclass is just going for 10,000 naira, and you're going to be learning how to make 3 different types of suits. So just comment suit masterclass. Okay, so for sewing the sleeve of the back, I'll place the front on it and make sure that I get exactly the same sleeve length. Like I place the sleeve that I used for the way I sewed for the front. You know, I've turned it over, I'll place it on the back, and then I'll make sure I sew exactly the same thing for the back. I hope that made sense. Remember, if you have any question, I am in the comment section to answer your questions. Okay, all right, so I've done this for the 2 parts of the back, and then I'm just going to cut out the excess, notch. Remember, anytime you have a curved line, you have to notch it very well, so that when you flip it over to the front and iron it, it will look very neat. These are the secrets of sewing neatly. Okay, these few things that we do, I know they will make your sewing time longer, but it will come out looking very neat and properly finished. Okay, all right, so we are going to go ahead and iron this also, just the way we did for the front, and then we will be back. Now I'm gonna head to iron the front piece and the back piece. I'm gonna head to iron it. So what I'm going to do now is to place the back on the front. Okay, show right side facing the right side. Then from inside the the facing, I'm going to pull out the sleeve of the back. I don't know if you get it. So I place the front on the back, then from inside I pull it in as if I'm tucking it in. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and sew. That's how I'm going to join the shoulders. Hope that is clear. So I'm done joining it. See how it is looking now. There's not going to be any sewing line visible. The next thing I'm going to do is to join the sides. Now you can just place it together like this and sew all the way down. And before you sew down, it will be nice to join it with pin. Now I make notches on the side as I'm sewing. I hope you observe that, especially when you're sewing with as I'm cutting, sorry, not as I'm sewing. When you're cutting stretchy fabric, place notches so that when you are joining it, you can use the notch as a guide. Also observe that how I joined the side is that I raised up the facing and I sewed along the facing all the way down, so that when I'm done, I'll just bring down the facing and it will look neat. I hope you get that. Now observe as I'm doing it again. I first of all use pin to join all the sides along those notches that I made when I was cutting it. Then I raised up the facing as though it's part of what I'm sewing, and I sewed along all the way down. So when I'm done, you see the way it's looking neat around the sleeve area. This is what you're going to achieve. Then I joined the zip allowance side. First of all, I went 1 inch above the hip line and I stopped 7 inches before the hemline. Okay, this way you'll be able to walk and your sleeves will be perfect. So after doing that, the next thing I did was to go ahead and add my zip. I did this adding of zip off camera. Okay, but if you don't know how to add your zip to your dress and it will look this neat, this is a stretchy fabric, yet the zip is looking this relaxed. There is a technique to it, and it's one of the many things we teach in our fashion online school. So if you have not been to maybe a fashion school, or you don't know how to do the basic things in fashion, then you really need to join this class. Comment fashion school in the comment section so that I'll send you the link to register. Okay, we have classes every single week. Okay, and I'll see you in the next one. I hope you loved this tutorial. Tell me if you liked it and if you're going to be making this beautiful suspenders gown in the comment section. Bye.